At one stage, YouTube was purely used for those hilarious cat videos everyone loves, movie bloopers, or simply just movie trailers. But these days, it has become one of the world's most powerful social tools. So how exactly do you put a YouTube video together? Well, today, I'm going to show you exactly how the pros do it.
Hi guys, and welcome to another episode of Snatched!
Hey guys, I'm sitting alongside Lindy, who's one of the co-founders of the YouTube channel called Snatched. Lindy, welcome to Edge. Great to have you with us.
Thank you for having me. You gotta say it's snatched. You can't just snatch.
Guys, can we have a moment, please? Why don't she just do her own intro over there? But say it again to me.
Snatched. You feel like you're snatching your life. That's actually the premise of the show.
Is that the slogan of
yeah.
Okay.
It's basically about just taking control of your life and taking it by the horns and living your best life.
Where did it all start for you? I mean, why a YouTube channel?
So Kuzi and I have always been obsessed with just media and TV shows, reality shows. And we just got to a point where you're watching all these shows, but we weren't seeing anyone that we really resonated with or someone that we could identify with. And then so we decided, why don't we just do our own show? And I mean, the way mobile tech is kind of really advanced, you can shoot anything on your phone, upload it straight to YouTube. It's free, it's minimal cost. So we decided, hey, let's just do it.
Obviously for me though, as an outsider, first time experienced this, it's kind of a mini talk show for me. I mean, was that what you guys wanted to get out?
100%. We wanted people to feel like they're sitting with us and actually having this conversation. So we wanted to be intimate. So it's literally usually just me and Kuzi and a guest host, or just focus on the camera so you feel engaged as well, and you also feel like you're part of the conversation.
This YouTube phenomenon has literally taken the world by storm.
Definitely.
And yeah, in Africa/South Africa, we aren't just there yet. I mean, why do you think this is?
I think there's a lot of limitations in terms of access to data and Wi-Fi. Here you still have to pay for your data. The Wi-Fi is expensive. You still have to pay for your data. Wi-Fi spots are very minimal, and even if they are there, it's really slow lines. Your video's buffering for 10 hours before you can actually watch anything. But I think once we get to a point where we have more easier access to internet, then it's just the numbers are gonna soar.
Are you ever meeting with other YouTubers within South Africa and seeing what their kind of take on the whole industry is about?
Oh, actually we do. So Google actually hosts these functions every couple of months. We all kind of get together and just talk about our channels and different things that are working for us. And we also meet up with brands for possible collaborations.
Yes.
But we're all facing the same struggle of really trying to push as many views and subscriber numbers as we possibly can.
So then, I mean, for your guys' content, I mean, obviously you are sitting yourself in Kuzi, you're sitting, you're brainstorming. I mean, but how difficult is it with coming up with new content?
New content, what we try to do is when we sit down and have our sessions, we just think about everything we've had chats about with friends, family, and colleagues throughout the week. I think that's the real way to kind of connect with the viewers that we're targeting, which are your young millennials on the African continent. So a lot of the stuff now we just shot an episode about the gay journey of a young black man. We've spoken about patriarchy. We've spoken about the woman in the glass ceiling, when I started working, and just you feel some limitations now and again in your career space. I just had a baby, so I also spoke about juggling the whole motherhood and baby and working, and also trying to do your own little thing on the side. Wow. And yeah, so basically whatever we're going through in our personal lives, that's what we love to talk about.
Is there a bit of a motherhood channel starting here?
There is a little show coming up. It's called The Real African Mommy Diaries.
Oh, lovely.
Yes, and it's a different twist on motherhood. It's more, especially in the African content, there are a lot of single mothers. I'm not a single mother per se, but I think my pregnancy personally was unplanned. So I think that happens a lot more often than people really speak about it.
I was also a mistake, so you guys know that. Well, unplanned.
And then just speaking about really what that journey is like, that 1 minute you're living life one way, and then now you have a baby, and just how to go about that adjustment.
Are you looking at making money and monetizing your channel? Is it difficult within South Africa?
In South Africa right now, it's just more about kind of opening your channel up for adverts. So how when you watch a YouTube channel, a little advert comes on before.
The one we just skipped.
Yeah. So in that avenue, but really for us, we're looking to do a brand collaboration. Yes. So we've been meeting up with a few brands at these Google events and trying to see how we can actually make an authentic fit. Because you don't want to have a channel where we're talking about being a young African gay guy and I'm trying to advertise an energy drink at the same time. That's just not going to fit. It's not going to be authentic. Which is a bit difficult. I think also brands aren't quite, African brands really, aren't quite 100% confident or comfortable and cleared up on how to actually really go about that.
It's like a risk medium them at the moment.
Exactly. At least, the conversation is happening, which I think is good. And some of them are trying to, getting their feet wet a little bit here and there. But I think in a few years, it's definitely going to pick up. And you make a lot of money from that.
Exactly. But what's scary about this industry is that so many brands are obviously just hesitant to get involved, but they need that one brand to do it, and it must work. And then they'll all just jump on board.
Yeah, but I think a big reason why it hasn't worked so far is a lot of the brands that have come to certain channels, they try and force the channel to go a different way, and that obviously you start losing your viewers that way.
It's your credibility, it's your channel. A lot of people think that, putting a YouTube video together is all easy, but I mean, it goes a bit more than that. I mean, you're actually hoping to align yourself with great brands who will work and benefit for your channel. Is it difficult to monetize something like this?
It's difficult to kind of engage in the conversation with the brands and kind of get access to the brands. I think if the brands really actually took the time to actually watch the YouTube shows, actually start to get to know the YouTubers themselves, especially like the local ones, would definitely be like in a better place. I mean, now for me, I'm a new mom. I'm starting a new mommy show. Looking at brands like Pampers, Huggies, or something like baby products or whatever the case may be. But I think there's people like I said, people just aren't really 100% confident and sure about it. But we're always open to collaborate with anyone who really who actually resonates with our message of inspiring and entertaining the African youth.
So let's give you the opportunity, here on Edge. If you could speak to brands right now, what would you say to them and why they should get involved with your specific channels?
To the brands out there, I would say if you're looking to gain access to the youth, we have viewers who reign all over the continent. We even have in the diaspora. And if you're really looking to really engage, get your product out there and really make a name for yourselves in a more intimate time frame. I mean, everyone's watching YouTube videos, everyone's on there, more than TV actually, if you actually look at the numbers. Then our YouTube show, the Snatched Show, is definitely where you like to be.
That's Snatched! That's it, right? Okay, so where can we find you guys? Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube?
We are everywhere.
Yeah, you gotta be.
Yeah, you have to. On Facebook, we're the Snatched Show.
Yeah.
Instagram as well, the Snatched Show. And on YouTube as well, the Snatched Show. Everything is just the Snatched Show.
I cannot thank you enough. I feel like I should start a YouTube channel now after hearing what you told me. I got your word of everything right now, but don't go anywhere because when we come back, we find out how all of this gets put together by the lady behind the scenes. Stay with us. You guys heard everything from Lindy, who is on the Snatched Show. I still can't get that right. But anyway, over to Lorraine, who is the production manager of the show. Welcome to Edge. Good to have you with us.
Thank you, Leroy.
You look lovely.
Thank you.
So I want to know from you, I mean, you obviously are like the person who makes sure everything happens, everything is ticked off once the show is shot. Is that a tough role?
It is. I'd say because we are very big on just making sure that what we're putting out is all about excellence. So we just want to make sure that the flow is right, that the lighting is right, that the makeup is on point, and just everything that we're putting out to our viewers is well thought out and really represents our brand in the best possible way. So it takes a lot. There's a lot that goes into it.
So what exactly does your role entail? I mean, besides make sure everything happens, there's a lot more that goes into it, right?
There is. So it involves just making sure that Kudzi and Lindy, our beautiful co-hosts, are that they've got, well, in terms of their content, that they know the flow and what they're wanting to put out to the viewers. So, and I think most importantly, that what we're speaking about is in line with our mission, which is to inspire, to inform, and to entertain. So everything that we're doing sort of revolves around those three pillars.
There's no doubt that coming up with new content angles and ideas is a tough job. I mean, we see it in productions all the time. Yeah. It's difficult to come. Are you involved in that process to add your kind of flair to it?
Yes, I am. So before we start any season, typically what happens is we have a strategy session where we talk about what's relevant in the world right now, what's at the forefront of everyone's mind. And I think that's how the content flow and the content creation then comes to be. And also just, the free flow of conversation that happens between friends, what are people experiencing in their workplace? What are people experiencing just in general society? And what have we experienced in our childhood that we've not been able to necessarily talk about? So it really just gives us a forum to just chat and have really intellectual conversations around issues that we've all dealt with from different cultures, but meanwhile had the very same experience.
One of the key things for me that stood out about, watching you guys being immersed and shooting your episodes is that everything you speak about is so relatable to everyone else out there. Was that one of the key roles you wanted to get out?
I just have to do one thing, and this is part of what we do behind the scenes, but I can see your press stick.
Oh,
And like,
thank you. John,
there.
there you go. Everything you guys speak about in the show is so relatable, and that's what I love about it. Watching you guys shoot it, it really comes across so natural and so real. Is this one of the things that you guys make sure happens in every single episode?
100%. And actually it gives me so much joy that that is how you took it and that's what you received firsthand, because we, I think, make a concerted effort to make sure that what we're putting out is not rehearsed. What you see is what you are actually getting from the studio. And we make it as relatable and as real as possible. And I think it's because of the array of topics that we're talking about. These are things that are, you know, around dinner conversations, and we wouldn't want to dilute it by making it overly scripted or politically correct.
Yeah.
Because I feel like that just takes away from...
You lose that essence.
You lose that essence, and I think that's also what the viewers, from what we've seen, are loving so much about the show. It's just the realness that they're getting from it.
Let's speak about the viewers though. I mean, you guys are doing some serious views. I mean, I know it takes a long time to generate that audience, but I'm sure it's a great reward at the end of the day.
Absolutely, and I think one of the things that has become increasingly important to us is looking at the metrics and tracking the stats around what is our viewership. So at the moment, we're looking at 70% of female viewership, and of course, we'd like to get the gender balance right. We'd like to get more male viewers on the Snatched Show, which is why it's important that we also really think about the content that we're putting out and making it relatable across the board. But yeah, it's not an easy one, especially when you feel like you've maxed out your platforms. You know, we're on YouTube, we are on Facebook, we are on Instagram, Twitter, not so much. No one's doing that anymore. Like, who's tweeting, guys?
I am.
Are you tweeting?
I'm
Okay.
tweeting, I'm tweeting. I would have tweeted you.
I shall at Leroy. We shall at you next
Okay,
time
fine,
we're releasing
fine.
our next episode. But yeah, I think for us, it then becomes the challenge of how can we grow our subscriber base, and how can we really incentivize people to grow the base through word of mouth, because that's really now the reliance once you've put out what you can. And relying on social media only so much. So I think going forward, we're also going to be looking at a number of campaigns. Yeah, so we're probably going to be wanting to collaborate with brands around those campaigns in the future.
Is after the shooting, obviously, you know, the post-production, is that quite a grueling process for you guys to make sure you get the right messages mixed with the right shots across? Are you involved in that process? And what happens? You guys edit it and then you just load it up onto YouTube?
It is such a grueling process because
you guys are difficult to impress.
we're difficult to impress, but also what I love, and I think like Lindy, Kudzi, and myself, like we are just such, we chase excellence.
Yes,
And
perfectionists.
And that's why I wanted to say we're just perfectionists, but we're not, because we allow for some room for imperfection.
Yes.
But we definitely want to be proud of what we put out.
See, all our viewers don't understand how much work and effort goes into making what they see on TV. And I think it's important to hear from someone who's in the game, doing it all the time, to hear what you think about it. But going forward for you, as someone behind the scenes, what are you hoping the channel, achieves going forward?
Definitely growth in the subscriber base.
It's a tough one, eh?
It is. But I think that will maybe become easier as we collaborate with other brands. What's been amazing has been the interest that we've gotten from brands coming to us and saying, this is amazing, how can we work together? And I think that's going to definitely tap into different networks, which will be interesting. And I think most importantly, back to our mission, we are looking to inspire, we're looking to inform, we're looking to entertain, and we are looking to really reach out to our young, educated Africans, whether they are on the continent or in the diaspora. We are definitely wanting to put out a message that really resonates with them, and that they're able to reach back to us and say, gosh, you know, I just watched an episode and it was everything that I needed to hear and
All I needed, yeah.
all I needed. It was all I needed, and that is what will make us absolutely happy.
Lorraine, thank you so much for taking us through your role and your kind of 2 cents you give to the production. I really appreciate it. And maybe going forward now, I can come to you to do my YouTube channel.
We
Deal?
would love that.
Deal?
Deal.
Deal. Thank you.